What's up, guys? So, I got a conspiracy theory for y'all. Um, it's kind of not a conspiracy theory because I think there's too much stuff. And I mean, I can make a whole series out of these. But today we're going to cover the 27 Club. This is one I've been looking into for a couple of years, probably. I finally wrote it all down. This isn't all of it because if it was all of it, we'd be here for like an hour and a half. So I'm gonna try and make this about as short as possible. So, first off, what's the 27 Club? So the 27 Club is a list of famous people who died under mysterious causes at the age of 27. Okay, so most of them were after they became famous. Um, they're thinking like this was kind of a lead up to being famous. This is what they did to become famous, and so I'll just kind of get into the list to start out, and each one I'm gonna go off of a little bit on. So, first we got Alexander Levy. He was born November 10th, 1864. So this was kind of the first case of it. Wasn't really that popular until the second person I'm gonna bring up. So it was November 10th, 1864 to January 17th, 1892. Okay, he was the first case, like I said, not really popular, just kind of picking up a couple things here and there, you know. The second person, this is the one that started getting more attention. His name was Robert Johnson, born May 8th of 1911 to August 16th of 1938. So this was a guy who in the 20s couldn't play guitar at all. I mean, he could play a little bit, he could play 3 or 4 chords, didn't really have a rhythm. It was just kind of random, playing on a back porch kind of thing. Um, what's really weird is he claims, which was 1 to 2 people to ever come out and talk about it. He claims that he met the devil at midnight and sold his soul at a crossroad. Only, like I said, the only one that really ever talked about this. All the rest of them just said, they picked it up, they got good, then fame just kind of came. This guy actually admitted to meeting the devil, selling his soul, whole 9 yards. So after he did this, you would think this is a lie. A lot of people probably didn't believe him. They were like, this dude, what's he talking about, And pretty much the next day, he could play guitar better than anyone in the state, he claimed. I mean, that dude could play any song. You could say a song and he knew it. He knew how to play it. So he went from only knowing like 4 chords over one night. So it would only be at max, let's give him 12 hours. Okay. More like 7, but let's say 12. There's no way that this dude could have picked up hundreds of songs just to know him like that, playing perfect rhythm. He could play anything just about. So it's kind of, not really, more questionable than anything. It's like there's no possible way that this dude could have just picked this up, So we get down here. He started the rock and roll blues movement kind of thing in the early 30s ish. Of course, rock and roll didn't really get started till the 50s. You had the blues and stuff. But they pretty much say he's like the grandfather of rock and roll. Then here's the thing that's kind of weird. He dies under mysterious circumstances. That's all they said. They didn't say, some people say poisoning, some people say drowned. They don't really know, which is kind of weird. I know back then, I'm pretty sure they kept death records in the 30s, but if they didn't, still, it's weird to go off of 2 totally different ends of the spectrum, And he died at 27. So this kind of is where it starts as the 27 Club. It didn't become a club until 1970, but we'll get to that. So this was one of the 2 people that kind of expose the meaning of the 27 Club and what you had to do it. After he exposed this and kind of got it, it started spreading from this little town kind of outside into the state. And when this happened, he died really quick after. He just turned 27, boom, dead. So it's just kind of weird. It's like maybe the people who were spreading it and really talking about it were getting killed a lot quicker when they turned 27 compared to the people who didn't say anything about it and they died right before their 28th birthday. Like they had a little bit more time. But it seems like the two people that said it out loud died really quick. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm pretty sure it's Nate Jeff or something like that. January 1st, 1918 to August 5th, 1945. Also randomly became famous overnight in the jazz scene. Kind of the same situation, only played a little bit, back porches, stuff like that for small crowds. Then this happens, he doesn't talk about it. And the only reason why he really got put in is because he died at 27. He became randomly popular and he just picked up on it like that. So it's still kind of questionable, you know. Then we have Jesse Belvin, December 15th, 1932 to February 6th of 1960. Rudy Lewis, August 23rd, 1936 to May 20th, 1964. Malcolm Hale, 1941 to 1968. I'll skip the dates. Dickie Pride, 41 to 69. So 1969 to 1971 to 2 was kind of when it started really getting popular. A lot of people were dying really quick in that span. I believe it was 9 to 11 people who died in those 3 years. So you got Brian Jones, someone named Alexandra, Alan Wilson, and then the big name that technically started the 27 Club was Jimi Hendrix, because he died. Now, he knew a little bit more. He was playing at a little bit bigger shows, but he became really popular kind of after all this happened. Dies at 27 too. So that's kind of when it started really getting known, and everyone started questioning it, talking about it. And then Janis Joplin, another real popular one, died, I believe, like 2 weeks after Jimi Hendrix. So that's kind of when, questions started to raise. You had Arlster Christian, Jim Morrison, Linda Jones, Leslie Harvey, Roger Durman, I believe this is Dane Alexander, Chris Austin, and then the next big one was Kurt Cobain, also 27. His was a suicide, but what I'm thinking, this is just my theory, it's like a clock pretty much. Once they did this, they have to die at the age of 27 somewhere, sometime. And I can go off about that. I don't think it was a suicide. I think his girlfriend or wife at the time did it. I mean, they were saying the shotgun shell was on the other side of the gun. If he pulled it, there would have been a lot of different blood spatter and stuff. The way the gun was sitting, it had the trigger up. Instead of the bullet going, what would that be? I guess to the right, it was on the left. Or maybe it was the other way around. So it's kind of weird. I mean, that gun would have been pointed up, and he would have had to have done this instead of this. So, I don't know. That one's really confusing to me. Let's go ahead and move on. With Kurt Cobain, I'll add this. So he started singing in the 80s. And it kind of started falling, like his rise to fame. It went downhill. He changed a couple bands. His popularity was going way down, So he didn't really think he was going to be like a legend, so to say. And then 1991 to 94 is when he died. That's kind of when they became real popular. So That's also when the drugs and stuff happened too. So it's kind of, questionable. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's he did the same thing. Maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. That's kind of unique. But here's the strange part. Out of the most popular 27 club members, there were 27 heavily covered cases. So out of the 27 club, the whole thing, the main ones that brought attraction, I mean, there's a few little ones, but the popular people, 27 people, 27 club, and that's like a shut off. Because that was, the last one was in 2016, and ever since then, there really hadn't been one. Now, there could be more, I don't really know. But that's when we get to this other thing I'm coming up to. Let me go ahead and explain the 27 in numerology. So 27 means enlightenment, completeness, and the power of 3. Okay, so triple nines mean completion, which equals 27. 3 is creativity and growth. So this is kind of something I put together. Being a musician is creativity. Growth was the popularity, and completion to become famous. Another one was self-expression, and I said that because most of the songs they sung or wrote were either stories or what showed who they are. So kind of the 4 main meanings of the number 27 in numerology kind of all leads back to fame, singers, which is where most of these people came from. So let's go ahead and get into the way this happens. So Lucifer was an angel, and before he was cast away because he wanted to be God and take over. So the name Lucifer means light bringer, or in Latin refers to the morning star, represented as a winged child pouring light from a jar. So let's go back to the number 27, meaning enlightening or enlightenment. So this can mean realization or bringing light. Okay, there's much more, but let's move to the new club, which is the one I was talking about a minute ago, which is the 21 club. So as I said, once the 27 club hit 27 people, it's like it went to a new thing called the 21 club. Now this wasn't created or known about until Juice WRLD, because he wrote a song called Legends, and pretty much this started around 2016. 2016 was the last heavily followed 27 club case. So right when the 27 club ended in 2016, the 21 club picked up. What I'm thinking is, if the 27 club had 27 victims, will the 21 club have the same thing? Will there be 21 victims and then the age changes? I mean, that's something you can think about. This became known after Juice WRLD in his song Legends said, in the song he said, "What's the 27 club? We ain't making it past 21." So that's kind of the second person that talked about it. The first guy, which was back in the 30s, when he explained he sold his soul, he kind of talked about it. And even in the song Legends, he's saying, why are all these famous people dying at 27? Why are all these people who get up there all dying like that? After they hit the fame, it's like they have 3 to 5 years and then they're dead. So, it's kind of like I said earlier, it's like when they talk about it, then they're gonna die at the age of 27. In this case, now 21. It seems like the 2 people, which was Juice WRLD and that other guy, they died right after their 21st birthday or 27th birthday. So it's like when they talked about it, it's like their clock shrinked, because Juice WRLD, he was part of the 21 club. He talked about it and he was part of it. With him, he was born December 2nd, 1998, and he died December 8th. So it was 1 week pretty much from his 21st birthday. Now we can go into the other ones, which was Pop Smoke, Lil Peep, XX Tentacion. There's a few more, but those are the three I covered on this. Um, so like I said, Juice was about a week after his 21st birthday, and Little Peep was 2 weeks after his 21st birthday. And I mean, they were within a day or two, but it's just really weird because it's like the 21 club starting to be early, right when they turn 21, compared to the 27 club that was over the year. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. I could keep on going. Um, you can get this into the Illuminati, and I can go off about that, but I'll just wrap it up here. So, yeah, um, okay, give you something to think about. I might make another one later, but I think the rest of the ones I'm gonna do are easily an hour, hour and a half subjects. So I'm just gonna keep this one at about 16, 17 minutes. Um, if you stayed for it, thank you. If not, that's okay because I just wanted to talk about it. And I'll see y'all later.